30% of the budget goes to the education sector. So the government is committed to ensure that the education is fully funded, and under the constitution it is the duty of the government to support the students and to ensure they are in school. The amount that is allocated or that is required under the policy for students in senior school is 22,000, and we are working very closely with Treasury to raise the funds from where they are to 22,000. So we are doing everything possible to ensure that we look for resources to meet that target. What my colleague said was not that there is a reduction. He was saying that we have not been able to reach that target, but we are working day and night as a government to raise the resources so that we meet that target. One is home and dry. We are not going to ask for any resources from the parents. Number two, we recently upgraded Rio Kindo to a national school, among other schools. In Kisii and Nyamira, we did a total of 9 schools, Rio Kindo being one of them. And I think we did Nduru Boys High School, Kereri Girls High School, Kadno Tunga Boys High School, Ichuni Girls High School, Naitibo Girls in Kisii County. In Nyamira, we did Nyansiongo Boys, Kebirigo Boys, and Kebabe Girls. So we are doing something about, those are 9 schools in 1 year. The issue of teachers under TSC. The government has employed 76,000 teachers in the last 2 years. This coming budget financial year 25-26, we've been allocated resources, Kolika Walimu 24,000 others. Those will help in alleviating the pressure. So Rio Kindo is going to be a beneficiary of the 24,000 teachers that are being employed between now and December, so that in January you will have sufficient teachers to deal with the transition that is coming on. And under the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, we had committed to employ 116,000 teachers. We have so far employed 76,000 teachers. When we employ 24 by end of this year, we'll be having 100,000. Next year we'll employ the balance of 16,000, so that including Waliwata for so many years, they are now lined up to be employed. We are committed to ensure that each and every constituency has a TVET, because TVET is the key to dealing with the unemployment of students or our pupils or our people that we have all over the place, because we train them and we skill them for them to be able to get jobs or for them to be able to create their own jobs. For Rio Kindo, I have seen the pressure you have for infrastructure. Let me announce that I will add you another 5 million shillings so that you can construct the buildings that you need to do, and alleviate the pressure that I saw even in the dormitories and the dining hall. So we're going to ensure, because you are one of those schools that are going to do the 3 pathways in grade 10. So we will support you in the infrastructure to make sure that you have sufficient labs, you have sufficient classrooms, you have sufficient dorm facility, so that abana baito banyoras ba kordegas bia ba gosoma bia tilabu chirororo elinde ilibachuko tonyora bang mono ba uchokora medicine una bali babere twaro agai. Excited to join you here today for this wonderful event of the Rio Kindo High School Education Day 2025. This school has a rich history of excellence in academics and co-curricular activities. The giant school has produced great scholars and leaders who continue to contribute greatly to the development of our country in every sphere. I note that the school's enrollment has grown exponentially, currently standing at 2,200 and so students in 2025. This is a commendable growth, and it's a trajectory that we encourage, which should be maintained as the government seeks to live up to its policy of 100% transition from junior school to senior school. I'm proud that despite the high enrollment, the school has maintained high levels of student discipline, while parents and alumni support has been immeasurable. The sponsor and board management have offered fundamental support as well. I further urge all the stakeholders to keep supporting the school to maintain its high academic and curricular standards. The school has been registering excellent results in Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, KCSE, for the last 30 years. During the era of the school's ranking, the institution made regular appearances in the top charts. Last year, the school attained a commendable mean score of 9.2, which is a B plane in the KCSE, the highest results ever. And I understand that this year, the Form 4 class that is tended to do your exams this coming term have set a target of 9.7, and I have no doubt that you have the capacity to achieve that target. With the advent of the competency-based education, I urge you to aim even higher and raise the standards, a fact that the school has adopted 3 pathways in the senior school of 2026. This fact shows that you are prepared to achieve very high results. I'm glad that we've recorded a number of achievements as regards the implementation of the CBE in Kisii County and in this school in particular, as the principal confirmed. So far, we have conducted standards assessment of junior schools in all the sub-counties to enhance curriculum implementation. As we speak, learners of junior schools have selected their career pathways and senior schools that they wish to join in the grade 10 next year. From the records we have perused, Rio Kindo High School has been selected by a good number of learners, an indication that the enrollment of the school will still remain high in the coming years. With the school's impressive facilities and our commitment to improve further, I'm confident that you will continue to prosper with the expected high enrollment of grade 10 learners next year. As a ministry, we welcome any feedback from stakeholders regarding the efficiency and effectiveness of the new competency-based education, whose first cohort of learners is set to join senior school next year. Ahead of the transition to senior school next year, we are expecting to have all requisite textbooks in schools through the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development before the schools open in January 2026. The government will also mount a retooling of senior school teachers in August 2025 to ensure that they are ready for the senior school teaching pedagogy. The government has allocated so far Kenya shillings 950 million to the Teacher Service Commission for this training exercise. I urge the Ministry of Education and its agencies to collaborate efficiently with the Teacher Service Commission to ensure that the teachers have been adequately prepared to handle the competency-based education at the senior school. I must stress the need for all of us to embrace the multi-agency approach to efficiently deliver education services, given that ultimately our common goal is to offer quality education to the Kenyan learner. Ladies and gentlemen, some of the government-funded programs, as you already know, are extremely costly. As a result, we have, in some occasions, lagged behind in the disbursement of capitation funds to schools owing to competition for resources by various government programs. I plead with you to always understand the government's competing priorities and manage your institutions well with the limited resources that we disburse. As always, the government will maintain its tradition of disbursing the money meant for schools and learners as and when they are released by the National Treasury. I urge you to closely monitor the use of government funds sent to your schools to ensure that they are put into the proper use to avoid cases of misappropriation. Ladies and gentlemen, for a number of years now, the second term has often recorded a very high number of cases of unrest in schools. I'm happy that schools in Kisii County have largely been peaceful, has been the whole country. I thank the boards of management for ensuring that there are adequate measures in place to preempt any planned cases of school unrest this term, which is set to come to a close next week. We need to always guarantee a good learning environment to avoid ugly situations like damaged property, injuries to students, and even deaths in our schools. I wish to assure the country that we are adequately prepared to administer the 2025 national examinations and assessments later this year. As a result, I wish to remind you that we will continue to uphold our policy of keeping our schools free of activities involving outsiders, including parental meetings, visits, and other large assemblies in the third term. This is meant to ensure that our candidates prepare for their examinations without external interference.